हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू उड़ान एजुकेशन सपनों को सच करें। टुडे इन Fourier series class we will discuss the coefficient value of a Fourier series and Dirichlet condition, which is also known as the condition for existence of a Fourier series. So let's start the topic. In the last class, we have discussed the definition of a Fourier series, and we know that a series whose each and every term is either of a sine or cosine. And if we look the equation of a Fourier series, it will be fx equal to a naught plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an cos nx plus bn sin nx. So in today's class, we have to find the coefficient value, that is a naught, an and bn first. So whenever we have to find the coefficient value, first of all we have to look the limit value here. In a Fourier series, we have to take the limit in two ways. Either we have to take the limit in pi, or we have to take the limit in a constant range. So if we have to take the limit in a pi range, then our range will be from 0 to twice pi, or from minus pi to pi. That's the range I am taking in a full scale. Okay. Similarly, for a constant range, it will be from 0 to twice L, or from minus L to L. So if we look the equation based on a constant, it will be fx equal to a naught plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an cos n pi x by L plus bn sin n pi x by L, and L here is a constant term. Similarly, for a pi range, our equation will be look like, when the same equation we have to divide, means here with a constant L, but in pi range we have to divide by pi. So pi is going to be cancelled, and hence we are going to get the equation, that is fx equal to a naught plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an cos nx plus bn sin nx. So from this equation we have to find the value of a naught, an and bn, which is known as the coefficient value. So as this is the given equation, we have to find first of all a naught. So whenever we have to find a naught, so first of all we have to remember that whenever we take a integration of a cos nx dx and the limit is from minus pi to pi, then our answer will be 0. And that case is also true for the sine value. Means in integration, if we will take a sine term, that is sine nx dx, and the limit value is from minus pi to pi, then our answer, means whenever we solve that one, then again we get the answer, that is 0. So these two conditions we have to remember. So how we have to find a naught term? So remember here, first of all we consider this as the LHS and this as the RHS. So in the first part we just integrate both sides, means both LHS and RHS integration, and the limit should be from minus pi to pi. So here there should be from minus pi to pi fx dx. Similarly, in RHS also we have to integrate each term, and hence we get this term. Finally, we know that whenever we do the integration of cos nx from minus pi to pi, that term will become 0. Similarly, from minus pi to pi, if the sine term is there, that is 0, which we have already say at the beginning of this slide. So this two condition is 0. That means what? Just in LHS this condition is remaining, and in RHS just one term, or a naught term should remain. So from there I have to find a naught term. So whenever I have to integrate dx and the range is from minus pi to pi, I am getting twice pi. Means the answer of integration of dx from minus pi to pi is 2 pi, and a naught will be the multiplication term here. And based on that, if I have to find here a naught, then I do the cross multiplication, and then my a naught will be 1 by twice pi integration from minus pi to pi fx dx. So that is the coefficient value of a naught. Similarly, if I have to find an, then what we have to do? Look here, if I say that this is the main equation, then in main equation you have to integrate from minus pi to pi, but remember here in an cos nx should be there. So what we can do, we have to multiply both LHS and each term of RHS with cos mx. Okay, and after that we just proceed the equation. So based on that, means whenever we proceed, then the first term in RHS will be a naught from minus pi to pi cos mx dx. As we already know that whenever the limit is from minus pi to pi cos mx dx, that is equal to 0. So that term will be 0. And similarly, if we look in Bn term, then there should be from minus pi to pi sin nx cos mx. So whenever we integrate this one, the result will be 0. So just an term is remaining, and in an term there should be from minus pi to pi cos nx cos mx dx. So in RHS that term is remaining, and LHS the term is from minus pi to pi fx cos mx dx. So we just equate both equation, and finally from there I have to find an. So remember one thing, whenever I am going to integrate from minus pi to pi cos nx cos mx dx, so this term is equal to 0 for all other value of n and m. But whenever n and m is equal to means whenever n is equal to m, then that time I am going to get here the value that is pi. So if we take the condition that when n is equal to m, then the answer of this one will be pi. So I am just taking pi, and an should be there, and from this I just do the cross multiplication. So an I am taking at the LHS, and this is divided by 1 by pi from at the LHS term. So it will be 1 by pi, integration is from minus pi to pi, and fx cos mx dx. Right now we are taking n equal to m, so I am just replacing m variable with n. So finally I am getting an equal to 1 by pi, integration minus pi to pi fx cos nx dx. So this is the coefficient value of an. Similarly, we get the coefficient value of a bn, and our answer will be 1 by pi, integration minus pi to pi fx sin nx. Means in an it will be integration minus pi to pi fx cos nx, and for bn it will be fx sin nx. So that thing we have to remember. So if we look all the coefficient, then what we are going to get, a naught is 1 divided by twice pi, integration minus pi to pi fx dx. An is 1 by pi, integration minus pi to pi fx cos nx dx. And bn we are getting 1 by pi, integration from minus pi to pi fx sin nx dx. So this is the coefficient value, and this is one of the most important thing, because in a numerical we just directly put the value based on this equation, and we should find here a naught, an and bn. So this is our coefficient value of a Fourier series. In the next slide we will discuss the Dirichlet condition, that is also known as the condition for existence of a Fourier series. So we already know that a Fourier series will exist for a periodic signal or a periodic function. So we can say that the signal should be a periodic. So what is the first condition? I can say that the periodic function has a finite number of discontinuity in each period. Means we know that if the signal will be periodic, then it will follow up to a infinite term. So what we can take, we just take one period of that curve. So if we just take one period of this square waveform, so we can say that one period means here if from 0 this is going to start, it is reaching at positive half, and finally it's coming back to the negative, and here it's n. So this is one complete period. So if what is the first condition say? The first condition say that a periodic function has a finite number of a discontinuity in each period. Here each period signify one cycle. So in one cycle, if we observe here the number of a discontinuity, we can say that here the value is minus 1, and suddenly at 0 it will be 1. Then after that, means from 0 to 1 the value is 1, and suddenly it will be at minus 1. Again here it will be minus 1, and again it will be 1. So we can say that the discontinuity will be here 1, means 1 discontinuity, 2 discontinuity, and this one will be the thrice discontinuity. So for this curve we will get 3 discontinuity in one cycle. So the first condition say that and we know that the 3 is a finite number. So whenever we observe a finite number of a discontinuity in any period of a periodic function, So that is the first condition of a Dirichlet condition. The second condition for existence of a Fourier series is the periodic function has a finite number of a maxima and minima in each period. It means that if we consider one period, then in that one period a signal have a finite number of a maxima and minima. So just take one example here. If we consider this as a periodic signal, and if we consider one period of this curve, so we will observe here in this one period there is just only one maximum point, but in this case we get two minimum point. So what does it mean? That in one period we get a countable number of a maximum and minimum point. So if any curve which contain a finite number of a maximum and minimum point in each period, then it's follow the condition of a Fourier follow the condition of a Dirichlet. Okay, then we can say that we can apply a Fourier series on that curve. So based on this graph we explain the second condition. And the third statement tells that the integral from minus pi to pi of any function is a finite. If we can say that if that function the integral of that function and the condition is minus pi to pi, if it's not a finite, then we are not going to get the coefficient value, that is a naught, an and bn. That's why the signal must have a finite value. So that's all from today's topic. Thank you.